Alright, so it's been half an hour, and the dough's expanded some more, but it hasn't flattened quite as much as it did last time. So now we get to move the dough to a pan. So I'm using a jelly roll pan, but any kind of sheet pan would work just fine. And I'm going to sprinkle it with cornmeal. But if you don't have cornmeal, you could sprinkle it with flour, or you could oil the pan instead. So just kind of sprinkle the pan until there's a thin layer of cornmeal. Really, we just want something between the bread and the pan, so it'll be easier to pull off when it's finished baking. And you're probably going to want to use something to help scrape the dough off the counter, because it'll be sticking to it quite a bit. So now reshape the dough. So if you want sort of a long baguette, go for that. Something more oval, you can do that. I generally go for something in the round to oval range. So just sort of mess around with the dough until it's basically the shape you want. You put it out in the pan. Now, you want to let it sit for half an hour to 45 minutes. And if you have kind of a slow oven like I do, you want it preheat at the same time. The recipe calls for 475 degrees. If you know that your oven runs at exactly the temperature at which it's supposed to, then maybe give 475 a try. But I've made this bread in a couple of ovens, and it usually gets burnt for me at 475. So I usually go closer to 400. Up to you. So I'm going to preheat my oven, and while that happens, I'm going to let my bread rise a little bit more. This time, you don't have to cover it, although you can if you want to.